Good evening, Risk enjoyers. Hope you're doing right, 'cause it's time for a profit review. Last week we discussed the January 16, 2025 Rustor, and that means today we're here to discuss January 23, the first Rustor for Lunar New Year 2025. So sit back, relax. I'm going to start yapping. Now, before I do, some of you might be completely new to this and don't fully understand the focus of the video, so I'll quickly explain. Basically, with every single Rustor that we see, I will return to it 4 weeks later, just to see how everything turned out. Did everything match up to our expectations? And if not, I have to sit here and explain why. Now, of course, with every single Rustor that we see, I'm always making considerations for what potentially might be the best investments for this week. Was I correct? And if not, you can hold me accountable. And of course, we'll keep track of the progress of the sales and discuss how we approach the abnormal barders. Sounds good? Right then, let's jump in and talk about my initial reaction. Now, before we talk about Lunar New Year, we have to bring up that there were brand new items introduced. And of course, every single year, per the animal of the year, which of course was the year of the snake this year, we get a special brand new mask being made. Until we probably inevitably reach all the animals and then we just repeat them, I guess. Anyway, point is, we had a brand new snake mask, but I just couldn't help but assume this was going to behave like most of the other, animal masks we've had in the past with Lunar New Year. They go down in price pretty low. So, okay, not exactly feeling super confident, but a smart barter can always lead to some success. So, all right, fair enough. We'll leave it at that. Did look cool, though. Did want to bring that up. And then, of course, we got this very unique and, well, strange-looking wall divider pack. Never seen anything like this before. But yeah, you just basically fill it in where you'd normally have a garage door or a sheet metal door, for example. Nice decorative, just decorations. No better way of saying it. I was like, okay, you know what? Role players could definitely appreciate that. I think they'll be liking that quite a fair bit. But, is that enough? Yeah. And to my biggest surprise, the wallpaper pack. Lunar New Year wallpaper? Okay, wait, hang on a minute. Does that potentially open the doors for Easter, Halloween, and Christmas also getting a special wallpaper pack? Huh. And then I questioned, is this always going to be brought back for Lunar New Year every year, or are they going to make a different one? It's kind of like Pokemon cards. I was making this analogy. Do I have to go buy tons of them and see if they go up in price ever so nicely? Because you do have to take this into consideration. Because these items are made by Facepunch themselves, you cannot see how many of them have actually been bought. There's no subscriber counts. There's no workshop pages. So, okay. Because these weren't exactly cheap. Just to quickly remind all of you, Snake Mask, $5.49. Wall Divider Pack, $4. And the Lunar New Year Wallpaper Pack, $6.49. Initially, something pretty pricey. You'd think maybe it won't sell ridiculously, but how can we tell? So it was definitely a bit of a head scratcher in regards to how you might want to approach it. But usually with brand new items, I'm always just sticking with barders. So would that work out nicely? Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. For now, let's go ahead and talk about the actual initial reaction to the skins. And well, let me just point this out. Wow, okay. I was well aware that about 170 Lunar New Year skins were submitted to the workshop, and this is a very big Rustor, including those brand new items, of course. But alright, pretty funny to see that we had another Zodiac small box being accepted every single year. Mr. Samota, he turns up, he produces the skin, he gets it accepted. So what do you reckon is going to happen next year? Another one. And the year after that, another one. So, okay, fair enough. But I'm fully well aware of a trend with them, and I'll talk more about that a little bit later. And of course, oh wow, another backpack. Yippee. Cool. Another transparent jacket. Yippee. So yeah, being a little bit silly at the moment. But looking at all these other skins. Oh, cool, 2 garage doors. Yep, oh, shut up, Hedge. But anyway, that had a lot of support behind it. I knew a lot of people really liked that. And the Snake Lord garage door as well. I mean, alright, fair enough. You've accepted 2 garage doors that a lot of people really appreciated. I'll put my hands up and say, fine, I'm not gonna question that too much. But I was questioning, how much are these likely going to sell? Because even after a few hours, they were selling ridiculously, like absolutely insanely. So, I mean, we'll talk more about that in the predictions, but I think a lot of people assume this was related to a certain skin that appeared a year ago. Anyway, looking at all the weapons, they look pretty cool, pretty interesting. But, skins can look very nice. For example, this SAR. But is it going to be special enough to actually stay up in value a little bit more compared to a standard SAR? Or is it going to suffer like a standard SAR? Because, of course, with Lunar New Year, it's a holiday. And do many people care? When I looked at this Rustor, I instantly went back and checked to see how the 2024 Lunar New Year skins looked like. Only one of them was in the positive, the Sheep Metal Door. All the other skins, not holding up very nicely, especially the weapons. So I was like, oh, okay then, that's a little bit yeah, well, basically I thought, okay, I'll look at all the previous years from there then. Yeah, they're all basically down in price. So, okay, if you're looking at this trying to make an investment, trying to make, some decent profit, you're probably just better off sticking with a buy order. So now I'll go ahead and talk about how I approached it in regards to what did I think was the best, investment? What did I think was the best things to invest into? So over to here, yep, we've got my predictions, and I've got the actual video over to here, nice and open. You can see me as I'm yapping away, figuring out what potentially was looking pretty good. But like I said, the sales are looking pretty ridiculous. So, looking at all the skins, what was potentially looking to be the most appealing? Well, if I can recall, I actually recorded this like 12 hours in, and I decided that the Serpent Temple double door's looking very nice. So if I could just quickly go back over to here, I would just like to point out that throughout all of 2024, we had a lot of Sheep Metal double doors. If you've watched these videos enough, you'd know. Anyway, all of the standard, normal, like non-holiday themed Sheep Metal double doors at this specific point, towards the end of January, doing very nicely. Post-Christmas was absolutely phenomenal. If you can remember, the player count was, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I was like, well, you know what? Literally the previous week, we just had a sunken double door. Didn't sell too ridiculously. Could that happen again? Were we getting like fatigued with Sheep Metal double doors and they just weren't selling that much anymore? And potentially in the future they might rise in price ever so nicely? That's a bit of a dream, but by default, I was like, you know what? This is the skin I am feeling most confident in. But I did have to acknowledge the holiday themed ones. Well, they were down in price a fair bit, weren't they? Especially when you compare it to the skins over here. Do people look at this and instantly assume, yep, that's a holiday themed skin, or do they think, you know what, that's a pretty cool looking role player skin. I could greatly appreciate that. The Glow in the Dark does look very nice. It's got a very interesting style to it. And need I remind you, the one skin that held up nicely with the previous year's Lunar New Year skins, well, it's right there, long double door. It was basically around the same price a month ago. It's held up very nicely. It was a very good looking skin that sold absurdly, almost 40,000 subscribers. But with it looking good and people liking it, the price held up nicely. It stays in the positive. So, okay, all right, I'm confident in that then. What about all the other skins? Well, I had to talk about the garage doors. So, yeah, these were selling ridiculously 12 hours in, and I was like, well, yeah. How am I going to approach this? Well, you know what? I just couldn't help but assume that a lot of people genuinely did like the skins, but there's still going to be people that buy in excess. There's still going to be a lot of people that buy them with the pure intent to sell. And when there's too many of those people involved, yeah, that causes problems. Okay. So maybe in the future, we had to acknowledge that during, around March and April, quite a lot of skins dropped down. I refer to this as the Easter dip. And, post-Christmas doesn't last forever. Inevitably, we do have to go have a bit of a down period. Inevitably, you'd expect that the player counts would drop down. We'll talk more about that in a bit. So I was like, you know what? Okay, fair enough. I could see this dropping down initially for a reasonable amount. But, come the summertime for 2025, maybe these would be greatly appreciated by then. And now I do have to bring this up. The ridiculous sales that I could see initially, I just couldn't help but assume a lot of people just thought, hang on a minute, did we have like a neon garage door the previous year that sold? Well, I don't think people actually know how much it sold. But yeah, I know a lot of people know that it's worth $400. So what gives? If you can't remember, the Neon Dragon garage door had a copyright situation. It was only in the Rust store for almost an hour and it was removed. Didn't sell that much. And, well, from then on, with the notoriety behind it, yeah, it's pretty valuable now. And a lot of people just must have assumed, well, if the Neon Dragon garage door did it, surely this one will as well. Not being fully aware that it was only available for an hour. So selling ridiculously and potentially reaching to an insane amount. How much was it potentially going to be? Well, I'll talk more about that in a bit. But looking at all these other skins, I was making considerations. Those garage doors, look, listen. I thought a smart buy order can still lead to a reasonable, profit. But I had to approach it a bit smartly. I wanted to wait until the end of next week, Wednesday night, abnormals time, then I'd approach it. So these had some interest, and I was reasonably, sort of confident in them. But for all the other skins, unfortunately, I just didn't have that much faith. Now, when I look at the small box, for example, it's very easy to kind of figure out where this was going to end up at, because there's so many boxes that are incredibly similar to it which are all the previous skins in the same set. You know, here's Snake Box, here's Dragon Box, here's Rabbit Box. Yeah, they're all the same, but with like a different symbol on them. They all go down to $1. With Lunar New Year, skins inevitably drop down pretty bad. It's unfortunate, but it's a behaviour you have to be fully aware of. So, okay, fair enough. Also, another backpack. Yeah, it's not like we were struggling to get any of them. So, at this specific point, pretty much all the backpacks were down in price except this one. So, when are we going to stop? Okay, so looking at all the remaining skins, I just didn't have that much faith in them. I fully expected them all to drop off. I fully expected them all to go down inevitably. That was just my response. So yeah, it's just gonna be lowball buy orders. That's how I was gonna go about it. So yes, the weapons, they look cool, but yeah, I might just play it safe. With the deplorables, I mean, I've already explained that one. That large box did look pretty nice, but even then, yeah, still expect to drop off. And then the clothing, well, I've already talked about the backpack. Another transparent poncho. I mean, all the other ones that came out in 2024 were down pretty bad during post-Christmas. Remember, the third week of January, so okay then. Yeah, no. This had a bit of a weird visual issue as well. It's supposed to be like yellow and red, but it's like white. It's kind of washed. I don't fully understand what was behind that. But anyway, another transparent jacket, and remembering the amount that we got in 2024, including that Twitch drop right there, I was a bit hesitant. So I wasn't really feeling confident in it. And the bandana looked cool, looked fine. It's just we're not going to get anything to pair up with that for maybe at least another year. Yeah, not until Lunar New Year 2026. So, okay, fair enough. So yeah, wasn't feeling very confident. Wasn't feeling very confident whatsoever. So yeah, that is how I approached that. So let's now talk about the progress. Let's talk about the sales. Oh, no, that's the Medieval RP event. Sorry about that. Right. So with the first 24 hours of sales, things did look pretty ridiculous. So as I said, when I did my predictions video, I did it 12 hours in. And with these, well, that Neon Lunar Serpent Gadget Door, over 20,000 subscribers. Like, the only thing I could do to compare to that would be to go back to the Neon small boxes from the summer of 2024, which also sold ridiculously. And in short, that looked like it's going to probably reach about 50,000 subscribers by the end of the week. Bit excessive, yep. Then we had the Snake Lord Garage Door, both of these I had somewhat reasonable interest in. I thought, surely there's still enough genuine demand that's going to keep the price up and make them not go dramatically all the way down to like nothing. This one here was still doing pretty high sales, almost 16,000 subscribers 24 hours in. I didn't think this was going to go anywhere near 50,000 subscribers, but maybe like 30 to 40. All right, well, we'll leave it at that then. The other skins here, that's a nice comfortable 8,000 there for the Serpent Spite Lutzar. I thought it looked very nice. I thought the skin creators did a very good job. People seem to appreciate it. The Serpent Temple Double Door, not exactly selling too ridiculously, which is good. But yeah, 8,000 subscribers after the first 24 hours of sales, basically matching up to the previous week's Sheep in the Door already. All right, well, fair enough then. So yeah, overall, it was fine. It's just still, I didn't really expect much of them. Yeah, so I was kind of treating everything like a holiday skin. And if you can remember Christmas, lowball buy orders all the way. Right then, now let's go ahead and talk about the abnormal buy orders. So over to here, let's talk about the prices. But first of all, the amount of sales these had, literally the night before we did the Rust rotation for the next week. And yeah, that Neon Lunar Serpent Garage Door, 42,000 subscribers. Didn't go all the way up to 50,000, but still, that's a pretty excessive amount. And then the Snake Lord Garage Door, over 31,000 subscribers. We've had skins sell like that, I mean, quite recently with that Mystic Tree Garage Door. But at this specific point, the Mystic Tree Garage Door was pretty down in price. Yep, so I was like, okay then, a $3.49 skin with that amount, that's a bit concerning. And for all the other skins here, it was fine. Nothing too out of the ordinary. But I'd still had to figure out what prices I wanted to offer for all of them. So, for the Neon Lunar Serpent Garage Door, I acknowledged that there was probably a lot of people that genuinely did like it. Not too many people could actually get the Neon Dragon Garage Door, but that right there, surely it would hold up nicely. Surely in the summer, more people would want to buy it around then, and maybe it could work out quite nicely. So yeah, I expected a dip during the Easter time, and then nice rise up a bit during the summertime this year. So, okay, $1.50 to $2.20. For a $3 garage door, I thought that was okay. But with the behaviour of garage doors the previous year, I had to be at least reasonably cautious. Yeah. Snake Lord Garage Door, same thing, $1.50 to $2.20. Yep, that might have been selling for 50 cents more, but even then I still expected it to drop off Probably around the same, yeah. Looking at the Serpent Temple double door, the sheet metal double door there, I thought with about just over 16,000 subscribers, I felt like it was going to do all right, but I still felt like it was going to drop off a fair bit. So that also was selling at $3.49. I suggested doing a price of $1.50 to $2.20. I was a bit unsure. Let's go with that. And I did expect Easter time to have a bit of a drop off. I really did think the player count was going to drop off a fair bit. So we'll be talking about that. Yes, we will. Okay, so looking at all the other skins, Celestial Call MP5. It sold reasonably, looked nice, but I thought 60 cents to 80 cents. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it with these Lunar New Year skins and the weapons more specifically. So then I looked at the Ophidia, the M249. I ask you this, how often are you even using an M249? Where's the justification to own skins then if you're not using that much? Right, 60 cents to 80 cents for that. Large snake box. Yes, this did just over 12,000 subscribers. Wasn't too ridiculous, but still, Lunar New Year skins. I wanted to play it safe with everything. So I went with 80 cents to $1.20 for that. With the Lunar Cape Jacket, $3 skin, I thought, okay, maybe some people would actually enjoy like the design of it. I also didn't really question it enough. How much of the player base in Rust is Chinese and, other countries that enjoy Lunar New Year and whatnot? All right, fair enough. Maybe it could work out all right, but even then, the amount of jackets we had the previous year, could we potentially see even more in 2025? So I went with $1 to $1.50. Lunar Snake Backpack, didn't have that much faith in it. $2 skin, but I thought, 60 cents to 80 cents. With the small snake box, 70 cents, 90 cents. As I said, all the other ones went down to $1. Fully expect the same thing to happen to that. All right then. And then the Chinese Lantern double barrel shotgun. Well, I haven't really made too much of a fuss about this, but this skin over here, it glows in the dark very brightly. Here you go. Here he is. And there it is as well. Very bright. Very, very bright. So, yeah, I didn't have much faith in that whatsoever. Glow-in-the-dark weapons, yeah, they don't tend to hold up very nicely. So, yeah, that was a 60 cents to 80 cents. Lunar Snake Poncho, that was like a $2.49 skin. Much like all of those transparent ponchos, they usually sold for a higher price, and they all went down pretty badly. I fully expected it to drop off down to around $1, so I went with 70 cents, 90 cents for that one. All right, now we also will talk about those items. So over to here. We have the snake mask. I made considerations. I've talked about how I've approached masks in the past. Specifically, I talked about the tiger mask and the ox mask. I had 3 accounts. I did $1, I did $2, and I did $3. I didn't think this was going to do a good job of retaining its price. I fully expected it to drop down afterwards. But as time goes on, maybe the amount on the Steam market slowly dissipates and it could rise up quite nicely. But out of all the masks, only 2 of them were comfortably in the positive. The rat mask and the bunny mask, the rabbit mask to clarify. All right then, so with that, $1, $2, $3. With the wall divider pack, I made considerations and I just thought, I'm just going to do the same thing. But with only 2 accounts, I was going to do $1 and $2. I just didn't know if that was going to hold up enough interest in general, and I just thought, play it safe, go to the halfway point, because remember, that sold at $4. And then we have the Lunar New Year wallpaper pack. I really didn't know how this was going to go down. I wasn't sure if this had sold enough, because, if it hadn't sold enough and people do appreciate the wallpapers and whatnot, it would very likely rise the price quite nicely in the summer. Well, all right, fair enough, because you're not going to see this at least for another year, potentially. We don't know if we're getting a brand new pack next year. That's something we're going to think about. So, okay, I looked at it, I made considerations, but I just didn't have, I didn't have a clear idea in my head. So, same thing with the snake mask, $1, $2, $3. I used 3 accounts for this because I've seen some holiday items come out before that drop down very badly, very quickly. So I've been cautious. I'm being cautious. All right, then. And then, of course, with some of these other items, I looked at them and I made considerations. So, sorry, I meant to say skins, because some of them were actually not abnormal. So we have the SAR here. That SAR, it looks nice. It looks interesting, but I went with 60 cents to 80 cents. Gold Fang bandana. We're not going to see anything to go of it for a long time, not at least for another year. So I went with 50 cents to 60 cents. And then the Lunar Snake Bow, primitive game mode was just around the corner. I really wasn't sure if it was going to do a good job of retaining its price. So I just went with the standard usual approach with a hunting bow, 60 cents to 80 cents. All right then, so with that out of the way, let's now talk about the outcome. But before I talk about the outcome, I've got to talk about what happened the following month, aka the player count. Now, we are reaching the end of February of 2025, and I honestly thought the player count was going to drop off. Now you're going to sit there and say, but Hedge, yeah, it has. It's dropped off. It's dropped down by 3,000. No. I thought it'd drop off by a fair bit more. I thought it would drop off by about 10, 15,000. No. Primitive Game Mode has proven to be reasonably successful. It's kept people interested. People are still enjoying themselves. So, okay. So, there's a bit of a problem. If the player count doesn't really drop off that much, is there always going to be interest in skins? Okay, well, I mean, you'd think that. But are we still going to expect a drop off around March and April? Because by the looks of things, I'm having doubts. Is there even going to be a good time to actually jump in and buy into skins? Well, I can tell you, in general, at least on the Steam market, it's still broken, but quite a lot of skins have dipped down in price. Not dramatically, but they have dipped. They have gone down slightly. Have we already reached the lowest point potentially for this year? Or is it still going to drop off a fair bit more? Because quite a lot of the skins have dropped down and stagnated. It don't look like they're going down that much lower, sorry. Anyway, so, okay, well, that's pretty interesting. Now, looking at these skins, let's go through all of them in order and just kind of discuss, how are things currently holding up. Let's talk about these two garage doors here at the same time. Because, as I said, they were selling ridiculously. We saw evidence of that. But right now, they're not down too bad. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Serpent garage door and the Snake Lord garage door. So on the Steam market right now, there's 225 of these listed. You know what? Not surprised by that. Remember, it did sell ridiculously. And looking at the Snake Lord garage door, well, there's only 86 here. All right, well, you know what? It sold quite a fair bit, but it's not too bad here. But this one, yeah, that one's a little bit more concerning. You've got a 25 listing here and a 41 listing here. Look, if you're one of those people right now watching this that have that listed, don't do that. You're not going to do yourself any favours. If it didn't have those two people doing that, it'd actually be very thin. It actually easily could rise back up in price again. So as of now, 4 weeks later, it ain't that bad. It's only down by about 40 cents. Yeah, you got those listings there, but, if it isn't really going down that bad with the player counts, are these going to go down that bad or that much worse? I don't know. But I did suggest $1.50 to $2.20, and if you did a $2.20 buy order, you very likely have picked up some of these. So have you? Feel free to comment below. Did you buy any straight from the Rust store? Out of all the skins, I didn't actually do any straight purchases. I bought lanterns instead, and I'll talk about that in a bit. So, all right then, yeah, it's looking pretty good. And same thing can be said here, because I said $2.20, and it's currently sitting here at $2.40 at the moment. Could it go any lower? We shall see. What do you reckon? Feel free to comment below. But yep, did you do a buy order up to that point? Because as of now, looks like people are buying, and I have bought some myself as well. Not a ton, but a few. And we'll see what the lowest point is during the Easter time. Because if it don't go that much lower, how high will it go during the summer? So yes, the barter suggestion there seems to have worked out all right at the moment. But we've got to wait and see. Will it go down that much lower from here and now? I don't think so. I think these are actually going to hold up quite nicely. But I do feel a little bit concerned. Next year, I can't remember what animal it is. I think it's rooster or horse. I think it's horse. Are we going to get a neon horse garage door? And if that comes out, is everyone going to dump these and go get that one instead? Think about that. But that's long term. That's not for another year. Let's talk about the Serpent's Bite SAR. Cool looking design, but unfortunately, it still suffers like most SARs. It's down to $1, as you can see right here. So, I did say it looked nice, but I did go with 60 cents to 80 cents, and a bit awkward. So, it's just inevitable. People's behaviour. You just got to keep track of it, and yeah. But it doesn't look like it'd be bad forever, right? Hopefully not. All right then. Now looking at the Serpent Temple double door, this actually proved to be pretty successful. Now, did it go down in price a fair bit? Yes, it did. Is it doing really badly at the moment? Nope. 43111, and then it's back up to its Rust store price. That's it. That's all there is. That is literally all there is, stopping it from going back up to its Rust store price. Only 27 listings. The barders, well, they're still basically the same. I went with, $1.50 to $2.20. Yeah, no, this has worked out very nicely. Okay. But it did drop off. So let me just quickly show the sales history, and then stops, and it starts to rise back up again. So, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad whatsoever. Okay, right. So what happens now? Well, I'd hope the price goes up. Did you buy any? Yes, I did. Well, with buy orders, I should clarify. That has worked out very nicely. I'm happy to see it. And now I wait for the profits, but I've got to wait a little bit longer. Sometime. Got to wait and see. We'll talk about that in a bit as well, because we've got to consider, what might be the best time to sell. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. Anyway, Gold Fang bandana, it dropped off. Hasn't gone all the way down to the price I suggested, which was 50 cents to 60 cents. Actually, no, it's actually not doing too bad. I think some people would have bought these with that barter by now, so that seems to be pretty okay, pretty good. All right, well, fair enough. Seems that's in a perfectly fine spot. But would you ever be able to sell it and make a profit? Got to wait until the summer, I'm afraid. Yeah, all right then. And then we've got the Celestial Coil MP5. It's gone down to $1. Sold for $2.49. Pretty cool looking design. But yeah, the 60 cent to 80 cent suggestion seems to have been correct there. All right, well, fair enough. The Lunar Snake Bow. So we had primitive update. Quite a lot of the bows did have their barders increase, and it does seem some of the bows have had improved prices. But are they profitable? Well, there you go. They're still like mostly in the negative, but their prices are still better. It's a bit awkward. Anyway, if this were any other point in like previous years, like if this came out like last year, I would have expected this to go below $1 by now. But people have been appreciating their bow skins, and that does seem to be holding up quite nicely. So I went with 60 cents to 80 cents there? Nope, I played it too safe. People did appreciate it. People did like this cool looking Lunar Snake Bow. So props to you, LNY. People like it. It's actually holding up its price. But does it stop here, or does it work out quite nicely? Well, it's not like there's that many listed. There's about 14 there, so yeah. Okay, well, there you go. Let's now go over to here and talk about the Ophidia. And yeah, as expected, it dropped off. So yeah, it wasn't too hard to notice, because all you had to do is just take a look at the M249s and realise, no. Yeah, no. If it's all down, like pretty bad, it kind of shows signs that people don't use the weapon that much. Okay, fair enough. And of course, last year, fancy up at that very cool Twitch drop for the M249. Anyway, yes, it has dropped off. It's gone down by half. It's unfortunate because it is a very cool looking skin, and we don't get that many M249s. In fact, this was the first M249 to be in a rust store for a year. So, all right, well, fair enough. But yeah, just look at it on the Steam market right now. Only 12 listings. And it's just going down. The barders, yeah, they're not really improving either. So that kind of shows a sheer lack of interest, I'm sorry to say. Yeah. And now we look at the large box. Large box, how are you currently holding up? Because with you, I think we suggested 80 cents to $1.20. Well, that barter seems to have gone less than $1.20, it seems. But yeah, if we look at the actual sales, it's dropped off a fair bit. Well then. Could it go any lower? Looks like it could. But are people just selling to the buy orders? It looks like that has been the case. Could it recover? Nothing there. So yes, it could recover. But do people look at this snake box and think, yeah, that looks awesome, I need that in my base? I mean, I'm pretty sure there is quite a lot of people that will be, but maybe they're not going to appear until the summer. So as of now, it has dropped off by a quarter of its price, but that's not that bad. My 80 cent to 120 buy order seems to have been reasonably successful. If you got, dumped on, I guess. I don't think you've been dumped on, though. There's not that many listings there. So, okay, well, fair enough. Looking at the Lunar Jacket Cape, yeah, that $1.50 barter, well, yes. I think that might be a little bit of a problem there for you, buddy. Yeah, seems the $1.50 price might have been a little bit too high because it has gone lower. But there's only 27 listings. And this is weird. All these Lunar New Year skins, they don't have that many listings in the Steam market. Interesting. Well, I mean, Garage Store did, but a bit different there, isn't it? So, okay, fair enough. We'll accept that. I think the price suggestion was a little bit too high. And what didn't help this was what came out fairly recently. We'll talk about that in a bit. Now, over to here, we have the backpack. Backpack fatigue seems to be an actual thing that we're noticing now. And, yeah, it's gone down a fair bit. Not dramatically all the way down to, like, 60 cents to 80 cents. So I think we perhaps did a little bit too much of a low ball. But then you look at the actual barders and, oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, 80 cents there, 60 cents there. It could still go lower. It could. I think people have been selling to the barders. I have picked up a decent amount of these with my barder, so, all right, fair enough. And then over to here, the small box. Hey, look, it's $1. Yippee. But, yeah, inevitable. So, yep, all right then. But if we do eventually get a full set of these, are they potentially actually become valuable? I'm not trying to sound mean or anything. It does look good, especially as a set. It's just, they are very similar. But they keep getting accepted. Why would Samoa stop? Then we have the double barrel shotgun. Now, selling at $2.49, it's actually doing a much better job than I would have thought, because it's sitting here at $1.38 at the moment. Maybe there are some people out there that greatly appreciate running around with a very bright double-barrel shotgun. You see them running after you, oh, you better start running. It's intimidating, but no, usually if you're going to have a glow-in-the-dark weapon, people spot you from a distance rather than you spot them. So, all right. But it's doing much better. Maybe there are people out there that are greatly appreciating the challenge of having to run around with that at night time. All right, then. Lunar Snake Poncho made this point. Ponchos with transparency that came out last year. Well, look and see how they turned out. We've got the barbed wire down 49%. We've got the bone armor down 43%. We've got gold chains down by $1, 39 cents. Well, it was $1. But anyway. So, yeah, it's down by almost half. That was expected. Yeah. Only 11 listings. Barter's hardly there. This is showing a sheer lack of interest, this is. So, all right, well, there you go. There's that. That is pretty much everything in regards to skins. Now we should quickly go over the items. Snake Mask, inevitably you have gone down, but can you go much lower? Well, we just talked about this, didn't we? I don't know. But here's another thing. Maybe the Easter dip won't be that much. What could happen during the autumn-fall seasonal dip? September, October, November. That's half a year away, Hedge. Yeah, but you still got to prepare for it, right? Nah, it's a bit of a distance, but, you never know how much worse things can be. Oh, if only you knew how bad things really are. But anyway, with what I'm looking at here, it's not that bad. My Barter suggestions, I'm right there, 66. Yeah, there might be a few people above me, but I'm pretty sure I was faster than them. Inevitably, as time goes on, I'm pretty sure we'll see, some Barters go through and whatnot. Does it instantly go back up in price? Have you seen that many people even using the Snake Mask? I did pair it up with like Reptile Hunter and whatnot, and it did look pretty cool, but have you actually seen people using this in-game? Feel free to comment below. And did you buy any yourself? Feel free to comment below. Now over to here, the Wall Divider pack, yeah, that's basically matching up to expectation. The only people going for it are the people who appreciate some lovely roleplay bases and whatnot. Nothing wrong with that, it's just, are there enough? Well, with that $2.10 Barter there with 652, I don't think we'll be going below that. What do you reckon? But yeah, the suggestion of $1 and $2 seems to be okay. If you're fast, you probably pick some up already. Did you actually buy one for yourself? Feel free to comment below. But yeah, all right, there you go. Now, to my surprise, this got bought out, like cleaned out. Whoosh. So yes, the Lunar New Year Wallpaper pack, that got a pretty quick buyout, and then instantly it's gone up in price. So if I can recall, what price did you sell for again, good sir? Oh yes, you sold for $6.49. Now it's selling for about 50% more on the Steam market. What? Well, yep, there you are. Only 50 listings. Could it go much higher? Consider this, the summertime. I've said it a lot, but a lot of people play during the summertime. We are expecting this cooking update to potentially actually come out fairly soon, either March or April. When is the jungle biome coming out? And when the jungle biome comes out, when that update happens, how many people do you reckon to jump in? For the first ever time, we're going to have a brand new biome introduced with brand new animals that are going to fight you and attack you, brand new monuments. Like, it could be game changing, and people like that. So, out of intrigue, out of interest, how many people are going to turn up? Do you reckon we're going to probably see at least maybe like 260,000 maybe? So, with more people playing, even more, could all of these skins improve greatly? And could that go even higher? Because like I said, is it like Pokemon cards? I've got to buy all these packs instantly right now in hopes that they go up in price in the future. As of now, it's working out very nicely. Did you buy any? Have you sold some already? Are you currently holding on to a batch of them and thinking, yeah, I've got to just wait. June, July, August. That's when I'll be making my sales. All right, fair enough. Will this ever be brought back? Ah, so yeah, is it going to be brought back the exact same way it is? Or we get like a second pack? Pack edition number 2. Holo pack. Foil cards. Anyway, it's nice, but I do know that in this pack, there's like a... it was the divider. The divider has a snake theme one. Are we going to get a horse one? Would it just add to it? And every single year, the Wall Divider packs slowly increases in value with more and more of these panels being made. All right, we shall see. But with that, I can't help but assume they'll make some more. When? I don't know. So, you feel free to comment below what your thoughts are in regards to all of this, and this. And overall, well, it's mostly matched up to expectation. Inevitably, most of it just goes down in price. It's not too hard to notice. Now, routinely every single year, and I did say this with the, I didn't say it in this video, but with the predictions, I always say, and I've said it last year and the year before that, Chinese Lantern's the way to go. It's a long-term investment. Yes, right now it's currently selling at the price it sold for in the Rust store. The borders looking very strong right there. As you can see, plenty. So this is how it usually plays out. With the Chinese lantern, it will reach a quite high, nice price. Eventually, at some point later in the year, it came out. But eventually, it will be reintroduced. And you can see this for 2024. Goes all the way down to slightly less than $2. But throughout the year that followed, it just slowly goes up, and it peaks during post-Christmas. Literally a month ago, it was selling for almost $6. Yep. So it went from almost just under $2 to almost $6. It tripled in price. But it took a year. It took a year, so take that into consideration. Looking at it right now, does it actually look like it's going to go below $2.49? I don't think so. So we just got to sit and wait. Did you end up buying some of these? Because I went and bought myself 50. I put down more borders for them and whatnot. Maybe I'll pick them up eventually at some point. But yeah, I'm waiting it out. Got to wait until January next year. But I'm hoping to at least double my money. And of course, with post-Christmas, I did make quite a lot of sales. I had quite a lot of Steam Wallet to play with. So you know what? I'll just go ahead and buy some of those. Eventually, I do expect it to go up into positive, become a nice profit. So yeah, every single year, guys, that's the thing to chase after. And right now, not doing too bad. So all right then, there we are. That's everything. So let's just take a quick peek for next week. And lo and behold, for the first time ever, we got a second week of Lunar New Year where it was new skins. Yep, I know the year before, the Lunar New Year stuck around for 2 weeks. But no, this one was completely new. And I don't think anybody really cared that much. Sorry to say. But no, people weren't exactly like super thrilled. But with the amount of skins submitted, all right, you know what? Okay, yeah, all right. Kind of understand it then, because there was a lot submitted. But yeah, all right. So that'll be a talking point, I'm sure. So anyway, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope everything was enjoyable and whatnot. And yeah, did you buy any? Feel free to comment below. And have you made any profits yet? Or are you just waiting, biding your time? And that's it. Thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you later. Goodbye.